That's the law, and it couldn't be more clear.
No, that's not the law.
Actually true.
That is not the law. Read the fucking law, you dipshit.
He's gotten himself in a position where he's like,
I love
my
this.
best defense is that I'm just gonna fucking tell you.
I'm just gonna tell you that the law is the law.
I can't wait for him to
law.
You guys like stories? Do you guys like made up stories? Mine.
This fucking guy.
He's like, those are mine.
Right.
It's like a kid who can't share toys, in school. They're like, that's mine. That's my toy.
I'm only doing this because I'm waiting for Hal to come back on because I want to kind of see what
release, man.
A lot of people were circulating part of this Pornhub clip around, but not the whole thing. Not the whole thing.
I got the full thing. I got the full
version.
thing.
Full version right here on the Tony.
Don't worry.
Watch.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Oh, I'm gonna come.
Very shagadelic.
Really? Oh my God.
So there's the full
Alternative facts.
That's crazy, man.
Unedited, man.
Did he say he was gonna come?
He said he was gonna come.
He said he was.
He said he was gonna come.
Now, Biff, don't con me.
So just so you know, Gabe Sanchez sends me 2 videos yesterday, and it was just him grunting with the Pornhub, with the Pornhub in front and behind it, and he's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "Well, not that I know or anything.
No, I know.
Not that I'm an expert. When you do the Pornhub with the home Pornhub thing, it goes in front. That's how it works.
No, I know that. But the problem was, I was like, if I put it at the end, it's like a
better joke.
Let me bring up
we need to tell a story here.
Because I just want to spend a few minutes with him and see
the clip. Well, let's just play it one more time.
Yeah.
I remember the clip of him saying, "I'm gonna come," and I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Do I make you horny, baby?
Oh, I'm gonna come.
Very shagadelic.
You're just starting. Treatment as prescribed and getting
Now, Biff, don't con me.
Why is that so funny?
I mean, it should be
gross.
People love a good fart joke.
I know.
Gross.
My partner, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" Because I usually go like, "Oh." Like I usually will.
Are you testing it out? Like what a reaction is?
I test out material with her, and I'll be like, "Hey, is this like?" Typically, it starts with, "Is this funny?" Right?
Yeah, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't start there.
But I start with like, "Hey, I've got."
You should say, "I found this. Let me show it to you. What do you think?"
Ignore it that I put my hand on.
Right.
But like, I go to my partner and I'll say like, "Oh, do." Cause typically when I'm writing a sketch or I'm writing a what was that, I'll be like, I want to make sure this like flows right and how I'm delivering this joke. And so then yesterday I was like, hey, which one do you like? And then, I played both versions and she's like, well, I like the second one where it like ends on it. And then, but I get that it has to be the front part has to start with it. And then I was like, okay, I'll be right back. And then I came back with this version and I was like, how is it? And she just goes,
was it the "I'm gonna come" part that really got it?
No, it was the fart one.
Oh,
it was the fart. It was the fart that really got her.
Well, I mean, I actually, and I'm being
okay. So I'm just quickly waiting for Hal to come back because I just want to see what.
Oh, nice.
What it is that will be talked about. As far as what's going on in Ukraine, okay, give me a minute. I may have to come back. We'll see.
Implications of those are, I think, remains to be seen.
So you think the Prigozhin is official?
He is not
so
he is certainly
trying to
a
figure
leader
out
of Russian forces that have been engaged on the battlefield.
Oh!
Or was.
Oh!
Or was. I think it remains to be seen. We've seen the announcements, but I think it remains to be seen the final, the current or final disposition of Wagner and Yevgeny.
Sorry, that I did not know that. Okay. Oh my.
I don't have any assessment about his location.
I'm pretty sure that's the. I'm pretty sure that's the real one. I don't think that's been doctored in any way whatsoever.
At all.
I don't know why.
I think you might have the original. Wow.
There is a clip. Can you find me the clip of Chris Christie getting booed. That's a hilarious clip.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have.
Chris Christie getting booed.
He gets
over
booed
something.
at, yeah. We're
Next-
telling
next
the
one.
truth about
While
Trump.
you're doing that,
What he is he's just literally telling the truth about Trump. So let me see if I can get, because it's been one of those weird periods of time, really quick, where we're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Because it's like Russia and Ukraine and what the hell is going on. Okay, so here's where we are at. Here's the front page right now that we're seeing all over. And if you literally notice, the entire front page is, what the fuck is up with Russia?
And to the extent Wagner continues to operate in Africa or in Ukraine or anywhere else,
And I know it's a mix of a bunch of stuff going on in the background. But
pick up
it's
the
like,
mantle that Wagner
wow.
has carried, we will continue to take actions to hold either Wagner or their successor accountable.
See, and my thing is, Wagner is a hate group. 1,000% hate group. Their mercenaries are white supremacists, boogaloo fucking white supremacists. The only reasons that they're doing what they're doing is their white hate. Now that the Wagner group has basically got a all new problem, it doesn't have its hateful leader.
so there you have it.
And what happens? What I love about these things is once their hateful leader tends to disappear, what you're going to find is that we're going to have more and more issues with the group imploding. And I love the implode, and I definitely believe the implode is going to happen.
Right, totally not a cult. Well, this
So, hold on.
proves
This is
that
Christie
it's
getting booed. Okay.
wink.
And the only reason Christie's getting booed here is because he's telling the truth about Trump.
President of the United States.
Yeah, why are you?
I'm running.
And Trump having all that shit. Anyway, so just really quickly,
Have you ever seen him run?
I just want to talk about really quickly before we go back to these guys, and we will go back to them. This is what we are seeing on the front page. It is literally about what the fuck is going on in Russia. And that's something we should be concerned about.
The last question I answered from Matt, that the United States does not take a position on the leadership of the Russian Federation. We do not take a position on
Because
of the Russian Ministry of Defense. Our policies have always been with respect to actions that Russia has taken. We want a Russia that is
what
invading its
is going to happen with that group?
territorial
That group's a white supremacist hate group that's doing a lot of work of their
malign influence
mercenary work
across the world.
in Africa
Always been our policy.
and in North Africa, especially.
The Ministry of Defense or is inside the country.
How much longer can this continue? So let's take a look really quickly, because this is New York Times front page.
I infer from that there is military to military communication.
With Wagner future in doubt, Ukraine could capitalize on chaos.
Obviously, to a different situation.
I won't speak to any inferences. I will say that I will let.
You know, it's kind of funny because I love the fact that yes, Ukraine could, but that was not my thought. It's funny how, depending on what your actual part of the world is that you think of first, is how you think of this story. Because when I thought of the Wagner group being all fucked up, I actually thought of Africa maybe having a chance of eliminating these motherfuckers, engulfing them, sucking them up, throwing them away. Can it happen? And that's been my thing is, can we get to the point of the Wagner group having
inside a Russian city? We saw
an end in not just Ukraine, but maybe even all over the fucking world.
You have not seen inside
Maybe a group of mercenaries who are nothing more than white supremacists
an ordinary citizen inside.
in fatigues, again, Nazi Germans,
Directly questioning
Yeah, see, for those of you who don't understand, and I know I'm oversimplifying it, but World War II was a bunch of white supremacists trying to hold each other's beer. And Germany basically said to everybody else, hold my beer. We're the most fascist. And the United States said, nah, we're not going to quite be there. We're not going to quite be. I just want to bring in
I put out a vlog
these guys because I want to
this
see what
morning,
the
which
hell
I
is
still
going
stand
on.
by. I've gotten some pushback on the whole thing about me saying that this incident with Prigozhin over the weekend would be the cause of Putin's eventual fall from power. I never said that. If I said that, or if I implied that, or if I misspoke, that's not what I meant. So
I
those
believe
who got
this
the
is the
impression
beginning of the
that that's what I was saying,
for Putin. I agree.
I didn't do my job
That's all he
properly.
said.
So let me try and articulate better what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is the first public indication, and when this becomes public, it is beyond Putin's control. So that in itself speeds back on something that then cascades because the czar isn't supposed to be in control of everything. So if he's not in control, and the chinks in the armor are there, and the failures are there, and they become public, that this now is becoming the inevitable, the public example of what I have been saying since I realized that he was going to lose the war in Ukraine, and that he would be the head of state of the Russian Empire when they lost control of the cornerstone of their empire, which is Ukraine. He can't survive that. No leader can. No leader could. No leader could. Every empire losing that. I mean, who was it that lost Ireland?
Well, he just gets in this guy's face because this guy calls Chris Christie out, because Chris Christie is an asshole.
He's an
I mean,
asshole.
as much as Cubs fans are assholes, and I can confirm that for sure.
Yeah,
they're total assholes.
And
Especially
this is from 5 years ago. So
oh really? So this was when he was the governor. Why was he at a fucking Brewers?
Because his son,
Cubs game.
his son works for
the Brewers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
that
that's why.
seems a long ways away from New Jersey.
Well,
That's
you know.
all I'm saying.
I think it's too soon to tell. It's too
okay. So there's a lot going on.
But ultimately, everybody knows at the end of the day, this is on Putin's doorstep.
Right.
So this is the first what I am saying with today's vlog, what I put out there, was that this is the first public, prominent public event that is everybody can see. That shows what we have known since it's been obvious that he is going to lose the Ukraine war, and that is that he is not in control. He's not a czar or a Russian leader who is writing the story. He is not in control of the narrative. He is not in control of the war. He is not in control of what happens domestically within Russia, and that is a earth-shattering.
Is he even there?
Right. That's the question. Is he even in Moscow? Is he in Russia right now at all? Because that's part of what's being asked. Is he there? What's going on with this man? Is he actually in control? And if he is in control, how is he in control?
Russia things are blowing up. Tanks are rolling up the M4 towards Moscow. Rostov-on-Don is being occupied by this Prigozhin guy, and the oligarchs are openly fighting amongst themselves. This is not what Putin promised.
See, this is what I want. I love the fact that we have the ability now.
Is inescapable. And
when I was born, this was not
he's possible. A wily guy, and he's a sweet fighter.
When my niece was born, this was now beginning to be possible. Now here we are in 2023.
He's in a war zone. Argued about all day today. But I firmly believe he is going one direction, and that is towards either
Without a fucking studio and satellites and an interconnect, we are able to do this
the
now.
president, sure.
Or we are
but nobody
literally
hears from him, he doesn't
talking
really
about
talk,
what's going
he
on
stays in
the
the
front
palace.
line. And that's
He's,
more
you know,
important than
and then
anything.
the guys who are going to orchestrate a post-Putin era are going to be, you know, first they're going to fight one another, and we've talked about that, Hal, you and I, about how this class, the court, the Kremlin court, or the oligarchy, or the Silovaki, or the strongmen, inside Putin's court, which are historically called in Russia the boyars. They're going to fight amongst themselves to find out who's going to be dominant. All this while, they will need somebody to be sat in that seat, because Russia and Russia's political power structure requires a center of gravity. So he goes down to, what I am proposing is that he goes down to Sochi. He sits in his palace, or he sits in one of his various palaces around Russia. There's a place midway between St. Petersburg and Moscow. This kind of forest touching likes. He sits there, he only is dragged out in front of the camera in dire circumstances. But most of the time he sits and he's not in front of the camera, and the ruling elite, the boyars, decide who is going to take over from him. And then what happens after that, that's when we get into the he slipped in the shower kind of stuff.
Right, early 90s. Well, this reminds me of that stuff we heard about in the early 80s, late 70s, where it was always, the leader stubbed his toe. It means he's got the flu. He's got the flu. It means he has cancer. He's got cancer. He's been dead for 6 weeks. He's on the mend. We've cremated him. Like, that's the translation joke that we did late 70s, early 80s in Russian leaders. And Putin's got to be aware of this. He participated in half of it.
I can't hear a word you're saying. Sorry,
oh, no.
I can't respond to it.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay, well, hopefully, hold on. I will send it your way. 1 second. Check. 1, 2. That's always the fun part. Let's see. I'm going to send this mic to you just in case. You can hear that. I was basically saying the breakdown of like the idea that a leader
tells these alpha cucks, hey, you can be bigots. That's fine. You can be
kind of Russian
assholes,
idea
the word he used.
Yeah.
But you can't be that in my bar, because I'm going to serve Bud Light whether you like it or not. So if you don't like it, fine, whatever. I'm Garth Brooks. I got more money than you'll ever fucking dream of.
Right.
Go on down the road someplace else. I don't need your
You
fucking
want to go
money.
to Kid Rock's
I don't
bar,
need
you can have
your
a
2
Bud Light
cents.
there.
Go ahead. This Dunning-Kruger Times keeps running these stories about Garth Brooks that are totally fucking false. And how you know they're false is they're in the Dunning-Kruger Times. I don't know if you know what Dunning-Kruger means, but they're mocking you, you fucking idiots. So the headline here is for the DunningKrugerTimes.com is Garth Brooks booed off stage at the 123rd annual Texas.
I want to know how many
Jamboree.
Republicans, including
123rd annual?
Greg
Abbott, tweeted that.
I don't know, but the governor,
123rd annual Texas.
That's a good question. But the governor of Texas decided this was real. Oh my God. And he fucking tweeted about it. He says, he repeats it. He repeats the bullshit from the fucking headline of the Dunning-Kruger Times.
Dunning-Kruger. You know what Dunning-Kruger means, right?
Stage at the 123rd.
It's literally what I talk about as you
Texas Country
idiots.
Jamboree.
For those of you who don't get it, that literally, the paper is making fun of you being what you are. It's literally the fact that you can literally still act as if everything you're saying, everything you're doing as a white supremacist is okay because I say so. That literally that's the whole point of it. It's making fun of the fact that you can make your own shit up out of thin whole cloth. Nothing backing it, no It's just bullshit, completely made up.
Compete with Ron DeSantis of how many times he can put the word woke in his rhetoric.
Oh, woke.
So woke.
And then you know what I say about woke? Woke is that N-word just screaming out. Every time I hear woke, I just hear nigga, please. Yep. Hey, woke. No, nigga, please. No. We need you niggas to go over there and just sit down and shut up. Can you niggers go over there and just shut the fuck up? Yes, that's what we need. See, that's what woke is. That's all I hear every time I hear any of these boys scream woke, because that's all they're saying. Yeah. Yeah. Just, yeah. And see, they don't mean it the same way I mean it when I say, nigga, please get over there. Get over there. They don't mean the same thing. Oh, it's two different things. Completely different things. See, that's the problem. My nigga please is, nigga please get over here. Come on. You know you want to say it. Their nigga please is get the fuck out of here. And that's the difference. Please. For those of you who don't get it, that's the difference.
Well, this is easy Googleable. You don't even have to Google it. 123rd annual. Like,
thank you.
You're so
thank you.
Stupid. Okay. It says,
for those of you who don't get it, in America, if you're saying something's 100 and some odd years old, you're literally saying it's from 1900.
Actually, it's not.
So it's been being done every year since 1900. Understand that.
Read more. But here's
in the United States.
Let's see if this is in. These
You're pretty stupid.
Falling for this this satire publication, because that's what it is. It's satire. It's not real. They say it in the name. Oh, this one says it's been deleted.
Yeah, that's because it was quote tweeting Greg Abbott.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. If it's quote tweeting Greg Abbott,
Cassie
then yeah.
Here, I think that's Cassie. Texan shit.
Whenever you can, guys.
Yeah.
Some of these you just need to get a picture of it while it's still up there, because some of these will disappear.
Even though it didn't actually happen. Listen, no one is paying. I don't know. You know how much a Garth Brooks concert ticket is?
I don't know.
It's
not only could they not convince Garth Brooks to go play at a fake ass jamboree that doesn't exist,
right?
But I would almost bet, and I think his only concerts that he has right now is in Vegas because he has a huge contract,
right?
And I would bet that a fucking concert ticket right now there is fucking hundreds of dollars. Sit in the fucking nosebleed.
Actually, you know, small world. I don't
think it's
$100 that I was on for the commercial I was working on.
Life in prison. Okay, good. But that's because he pled guilty. Thank God.
I was like, oh, what projects are you guys working on next? And they're like, actually, we have to go film all these commercials with Garth Brooks, and we've got actually, and they're like, we're gonna go meet him in Vegas. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, because you and I had just talked about him.
Yes.
Well, that's funny.
You know, he's maybe under arrest or some sort of legal procedure is a highly unlikely thing, but who knows? We're in uncharted territory. Or, frankly, he slips in the shower. Or one day we wake up in the morning, we all wake up and we're told that he had a heart attack in the middle of the night. You know, but from this point on, we are on an inescapable, in my opinion, route towards the end of Putin's reign over Russia.
Right.
You know. And
also
terms to that.
And literally, my only question, and I've had this question since Putin started, since Putin took over the second time, when it was obvious that he was doing this to become the dictatorial leader forever. When his time is up, there's only two ways out. He either puts in somebody who will take care to make sure he stays alive after the fact, which means he goes off to another country where they basically can't touch him, and they have to let him go with at least enough money to live. And that's still hundreds of millions. Whoever comes in after him has to do a show of getting back hundreds of that millions and letting Putin go. Or Putin dies. For real. How else does he go away? I'm just saying that I don't see very many other ways right now that we continue this.
Controversial. Nonetheless, the tanks were on the street.
How does it end?
Now you have tanks on the street. You have stuff blowing up all over. Putin got into power by saying, if you let me in and you make the agreements with me, I don't mess with the government.
You remember Nixon? I've got the plan. Trump, I can make it stop in 24 hours. I've got I. Why is it always these white fucking men? No, yes, there are black leaders that have said the same shit. But guess what? They're not world leaders and never will be. They're little African leaders in their own little countries who are shat all over by the white man who says the exact same shit. I, and I alone can fix it. When no, you can't. That's not how this works. But here we go.
He may make some wily decision here or wily decision there. He may cling on for a bit, but it's done. He is going one place and one place only, ultimately, and that is ripped from power without his consent.
Yeah, and there are a lot of questions in the chat about will Putin do himself in and who will replace him. I don't see him doing that. Well,
the problem with a replacement, again, pressed for time. So problem with the replacement is that he has repeatedly and systematically destroyed anybody who could replace him. Because if anybody, I mean, look at Medvedev, the only guy who has even remotely gotten to the head. Well, he was head of state, he was president, but everybody knew he was a puppet. Everybody knew he was Putin's boy, and I mean, Putin was literally his prime minister, and he only did that to kind of like take advantage of a loophole in the Russian Constitution where he just swapped hats.
Consecutive terms.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, he is never empowered or groomed or allowed that power to grow organically that would develop a successor so that he could then, kind of work his way out of being head of state and get into whatever it is, retirement, basically. You go off and be the guy who changed Russia.
But who coming up would trust him with all of his millions to not decide I'll make a run at the chair again at some point by snuffing everybody? I'm going to be. Yeah, save it till Wednesday.
I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the guy sitting in a chair. I will save it for Wednesday, but generally, I'm going to be. Who's going to allow to become president of the Russian Federation and still have Putin, kind of like sniping at them?
Yes.
So
look at Kazakhstan.
Make an autocratic system.
Yeah, literally through the.
Better example is Turkmenistan.
Yeah,
Turkmenistan with the God King.
Okay, so they're saying the same thing. And they're saying basically there's just no way that how does this all end? How does this all end? And when does this all end?
I don't know if you know this. He would have a microphone, and I mean, it would be loud.
Yeah.
Like he's got a band, and they're all mic'd. I mean, it's fucking loud in this place, right? It's almost like they're doing a concert.
A concert.
Right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Okay. So, and then there's section 100. There's the twos. Okay.
So you got the orchestra area.
Right.
And then you get the mezzanine.
The first mezzanine. The first one.
Yeah, the first mezzanine, which, again, you can, oh my God. If you scroll to everyone has an image of this right now. What we've gone through right now are the most affordable, the cheapest.
Which is in the 400s. Which is in the 400s.
Which is this first mezzanine section and the second.
Sorry, it's fascinating with what the conversations are.
Here we go.
Because literally, hold on. Whoa. That's a Garth Brooks ticket.
$53 each. If you want to.
And basically, what he's trying to point out is most of these dumbass white supremacists and dumb white boys will say almost anything, and these people will believe them because
he's got
dumb woke. white boys.
Shit with that.
Sorry, they're just as woke as everybody else. It's just after 11,
But also,
and that's the funny part,
he's like,
is that we actually made it.
right?
Come
Like,
boo,
that's-
and no one hears
And
it.
that's not only that. He obviously gets paid.
And all I wanted to do was just see what's going on. How is
I
it?
wouldn't be terribly
How
surprised
is-
if I do a vlog tomorrow because
Yeah.
this isn't done yet. No.
Nope.
I've got about 10 or 15 minutes if you have, unless you wanted to go into a different.
I got to bug out because we're
You have
already
stuff you
over
gotta-
anyways, and I got a kid to check on. So
Absolutely.
we will do this Wednesday
I'm
and
gonna
watch his
go-
vlog, everybody.
We will do this Wednesday. Watch my vlogs. I'll keep going. We may just briefly. We may have a lull in this because if it's true, the production is immense, and there's still all the fallout that's kind of this calm before the storm. But make no mistake about it, we are in that moment that I've been telling Hal about for so long. The boyars are going to start hitting one another until we find a successor.
So in other
and
words,
a dominant.
okay, for those of you who didn't see it, there was a white supremacist brawl this weekend. So what I believe is happening more and more is exactly what I figured was going to happen. These little groups are so small now and so just so I don't even know how do you put it.
More than half. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Which means that
They're fighting each other because they literally have they're the same people. And now they're going to literally fight each other because they are the minority that doesn't realize they want all the same thing, but they're going to kill each other. Because they are the minority that wants the bullshit that will never happen. So literally, as we watch white supremacists kick each other to the curb, as we now watch the Wagner group start firing on their own people, we're going to start seeing these inner groups start to fight in a way that's going to be, I'm not going to say hilarious, but dangerous maybe. And that's my only thing is I'm a little nervous only because Russia and China are the epitome of copycat states. So almost everything that they have is a copy and not always a good working copy. So I'm more afraid of their not so smart bombs. They're not so smart white supremacist online groups. They're not so smart. Are they learning from Hitler, or are they learning, or do they think they are they as smart as they think they are? Because it's starting to show more and more as they infight and they all want the same thing and don't realize that they're the only ones that want it, and they want it so badly that the only way they're going to get it, it's a weird time. That's all I'm going to say.
He's canceled. Nope. Marsha Magalodonian.
Extraordinary demand, Tony.
Fake news.
Fake news. Garth Brooks, super gay, super woke, doesn't know how to sing. Extraordinary demand. Due to extraordinary demand, the promoter at Live Nation, the person who's running the ticket sales for the Coliseum.
In other words, what does extraordinary demand mean? What does that mean exactly?
It means that there's an overwhelming amount of people who want tickets but can't get tickets, so they say, there's
you know
money
what it
coming
is?
in, so we
You know
might as
what
well
it is?
get it.
I bet there's an overwhelming demand to pay $2,000 to go boo Garth Brooks because he likes gay beer. That's what it is.
He likes that Bud Light shit. And on that note, I think it is time for us to say goodbye.